Hello everybody, my name is Necroxis as always, and I have a very short video because I want your guys' opinion on something. Legion is winding down. We have 3 more full campaigns for classes to do, which, sidebar, I'm working on them all right now. If you don't remember, or if you never heard, but I've mentioned this a couple times, I'd like to record the entire campaign and then put it out, because originally, before they changed it in 7.3, or whenever they changed it, each class had probably 10 or around 10 missions that you had to do for your class hall to progress the story, and they used to be 12 hours apiece. Luckily, they've changed it now to make them all 1 hour, but that kind of has stuck with me in why I record them all in bulk and then release them, because I don't like the idea of recording one episode, maybe getting involved with the story, and hopefully you guys getting invested with the story, what's going on, and then waiting 3 days before part 2 comes out. So I like to record them all, put them all out at once. So those are coming. We have the Druid, we have the Monk, and we have the Warrior. Those are the last 3 ones that I have to do fully. And then there are a couple random ones that I did the 7.0 one of, but I didn't do 7.2 and the Mount, which include the Rogue and the Shaman. Rogue and Shaman for sure. I'm not sure about the other ones off the top of my head. I'll have to go back and look. But Rogue and Shaman for sure that I want to finish, and then we'll be completely done. So, my question to you guys is, if you've watched any random things I've talked about, some games I'm having fun with, or if you've been following my Twitter, I've talked about how I really, really like Final Fantasy XIV. I'm really invested in the story of what's going on. I love the gameplay. I love how it's different from WoW. I think it does things better than WoW in some respects, and WoW does other things better than it in some respects. I remember I put a short video out saying how I think professions in Final Fantasy XIV are way better than WoW's, and it got a lot of hate, and I was confused about it, but either way. So my question to you guys is, I've done all of Final Fantasy XIV, the vanilla game, and its first expansion, and then I stopped, because right now it's in its second expansion, Stormblood, and I did virtually none of it. So my question to you guys is, would you be interested in watching a video where I go through just the main storyline of Final Fantasy XIV? Because the way that it works different from WoW is Final Fantasy XIV has a main quest line. If you want to think of it as just a straight line that goes through the entire game, it's like a main quest line that you always are working toward, that you always progress the story of the game world with. There are a lot of side quests that are related. Maybe there are some characters who offer some other side quests that are different from the main storyline, but the main storyline is where almost all of the important and awesome story is. So I'm wondering if you guys would be interested in me going through and making another character again and doing the vanilla and then doing the first expansion storylines, which are both very, very, very good. I think they're a lot better than a lot of things WoW have done. And then together we can experience a new expansion storyline. Not interested in recording all of the side quests and stuff, because I skipped a lot of them at some point because they're kind of boring. But so yeah, how do you guys think about that or feel about that? I'm bringing this up again because Final Fantasy XIV is a game where I went through vanilla in the first expansion, and then I stopped because I wanted the entire next expansion to be done with, but then I could play it through because I like it so much that I hate when I hit a wall and have to wait for patch content. But if we go back through together and do the entire storyline, it'll kind of help me reinvest myself back into the world for when I want to resubscribe, which I bring up because 14 is one of those games where I've unsubscribed, like I just said, but almost every day I'm like, man, I really want to resubscribe and play some more Final Fantasy XIV. And with Legion basically over now, outside of the raid, which I'm not super interested in doing now that we've seen the ending, but I'm just wondering how you guys would feel about that. It would just be the main storyline. It's called the main quest. What's it called? There's this main scenario quest, which is the main storyline of the game, and it goes from level 1 to level, what is it now, 70? I think with the next expansion, it's up with level 70 now. And it's just the main storyline. That's all you really need to know. There are some other cool side things that maybe we could do at one point, like the Bahamut raid, I think is really cool. Or the Alexander raid from the first expansion. But the main storyline, would you guys be interested in seeing that? Because essentially, It's kind of like a Final Fantasy game, except you're just playing it in an MMO. There are times where you have to go into like dungeons to progress the story, but they're never really too hard because they kind of offer you a hard mode if you want the challenge. The dungeons kind of just like to progress the story, so I never really had any problem doing it by myself and just queuing up with random people and doing dungeons and the story raids. So anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I kind of just want to share 14 with you guys because the game deserves a lot of love because it's really great. And I think, I think people have this misconception that you have to either like WoW or like 14 or like SWTOR or like WildStar. You're not allowed to like multiple things or Elder Scrolls Online. But I really like WoW and I really like 14, and I want to show people why I think 14 is so good. But I'm just curious if you guys would watch it, really. So, because the way it kind of works is there's no real benefit to starting over again because you can swap between every class on one character. So the only way you would ever want to start over again is if you switch servers, or in my case, if you want to restart the storyline because you can't redo the main storyline on one character. You have to start another character again to do it. The way you basically do it is you do the main storyline on whatever class you want, and then if you want to level up the other classes, you switch to them and do other things. Like there's a leveling dungeon that's like an endless dungeon where you can just level up in, or there are like daily quests you can do to level up, but you really have to start over a new character to do the main story quests. And I will know some of what happens, obviously, because I did the vanilla and the first expansion, but there's some of it that I might have missed, I might have overlooked. I'm really interested to going back and doing it again to catch all of the little things that I know I've seen people talk about that I've completely just overlooked. But yeah, so let me guys know what you think about this idea in the comments below, and if you guys want to see it, I will do it. So thanks for watching. The last 3 campaigns are coming soon. I'm working on leveling them up as we speak, but until then, stay awesome, and yeah, farewell.